Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your post-match press conference of Chelsea 2, AC Milan 0. A nagging game with a whole host of bookings, cards, poor refereeing decisions, questionable situations, good goals, controversy, and a worrying injury for Reece James on his knee. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining me here on Football Therapy for your post-match presser. Look, 6 days ago, but 6 days, not even a week. Chelsea were languishing at the bottom, I look like a proper Sith Lord here, of their Champions League group. And with under a week, we've ascended like a beautiful burning phoenix to the summit of Group E in the Champions League. And we're cooking with Potter, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking good. Une performance professionnelle, a professional performance. It's just everything that's happening with us at the moment is so un-Chelsea. Get the microphones up, get them up, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, thank you for dropping a like on the video and subscribing. If you could all do that, that would be great. But I just want to let you know now, we're gonna win the Champions League. Put it on the headlines, press, and get the frick out of here. Drop the microphones down. Get out of here. Right, so I'm going to take you through the game, how we lined up, player performances, and the big talking points, stories, of which there are many in this game. So I just want to thank you for joining me and your continued support on this series post-match presser, because you guys seem to dig it. And that's nice, because I certainly do too. Look, man, we lined up with a back three. So Graham Potter is alternating. Well, he's done a lot more back three than back four. We had Chelsea's first choice goalkeeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga, in goal between the sticks. A formidable front three, and yes, formidable. Chalobah's part of that. Chalobah, right centre back. The timeless 38-year-old Thiago Silva, once Milan player, of course. Dan, the middle, and of course Kalidou Koulibaly, who is getting better and better. He's looking like Kalidou Koulibaly, the sort of European super defender that we signed. Which is good. Worth saying with Chalobah before I forget, he's never lost a game when he started for Chelsea. Never. And his win ratio is like over 2/3. There's something there, boys and girls. We played the hits. We brought back the old school, I say conventional, but the known double pivot, the middle sixes of Jovicic, of course, Jorginho and Kante, which was once leaned on for a long time by Tuchel. They're so used to playing together now, these two, ever since the Sarri days. They've gone on and off the boil as a pair, depending on what's happening around them as a team, and of course the opposition. But they played well today. Kovacic hasn't... We are going to talk about player performances, but they played well today. Of course, Jorginho scoring a great penalty. The Champions League winning wing backs were in play with Reece James at right wing back and Chile B coming in at left wing back and kind of seemingly holding his place over Marc Cucurella of late. Of course, he's the more offensive wing-back Chile. He gets into the box more and makes those kind of offensive striker-ish runs. Do you know what I mean, mate? The front three consisted of Raheem Sterling, he's sort of become a solid choice, maybe not lighting up the pitch like he did originally, but he's working hard, he's being a system player, so therefore he retains his place. Fair enough. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang up front, who scored 3 goals in 4 games, 3 in a row, all great strikers' goals. And as I've previously said, ladies and gentlemen, I am not emotionally prepared and developed to deal with Chelsea's number 9, Chelsea's leading striker, to score good striker goals. I'm not prepared for this, I'm not conditioned for this, and I'm all excited and scared. Anyway, the person that completed the front three is Mason Lionel Messi Mount, who was ascended to new levels over the last 3 games, of which I called for him to be dropped prior. What I think's happened here, mate, is he's watched Football Therapy and he's gone, I must be playing bad if Jan's asked me to be dropped, and he's got on the gear or something. No, that's a joke. Something's happened. Juju, and he's gone to a new level. We know Mason Mount can play well. We'll talk about more of him in a moment. 4-2-3-1 from Milan and Pioli, with, of course, Giroud and Tomori starting. Tomori. Rafael Leao, who before kickoff was having a little laugh with Mason Mount. Ooh, we're so we irritating. But does that mean I'll see you soon at the bridge, mate? Who knows? Substitute appearances, no one cares about Milan, but Chelsea was Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher, who came on at half-time for Mason Mount. In fact, let's run you through it. Look, man, this game started pretty high octane, and Milan were kind of all over us. The crowd at the San Siro, amazing atmosphere, historic, etc., etc. And it did seem the players looked a little bit wobbly early doors. And and I was worried in the opening minutes. I was like, if we get a draw, it'll be good. But the probably most controversial thing about this game is in the 18th minute, Mason Mount does really well to get in front of Tomori. Or you could say Tomori doesn't do great to let Mason Mount get in front of him. And Mount doesn't dive, he doesn't go down, he could choose. He stays on his feet and he tries to pop the shot off. But ultimately does go down because Tomori's hand's on his shoulder. Now look, man, I don't know the rules for how, whatever, these fouls in the box, double jeopardy. I don't know if I've got any form of sentimentality leaking in here because it's Fikayo Tomori. No, you know what, bollocks, I don't think it's that. I just think it was soft, and I think that's just an instinctive, visceral reaction. I know Milan fans are really annoyed at this. I thought it was soft. I mean, give him a pen, but I know the double jeopardy rule, whatever. Anyway, people in the BT Sports studio, they were like, yeah, red card, has to be. Like, it's unfortunate, but c'est la situation. Well, for me, I just thought it was a bit like, okay. But I mean, I'm stoked, I'm gassed. Chelsea above all, man. I want all the decisions, especially in the opening 18 minutes prior to that. I was certain the Italians bought the ref because he was just giving non-fouls to the Milan players left, right and centre. Anyway, Jorginho steps up and does a beautiful penalty. He's back in form in terms of his conversion technique. And the yellow cards start popping off, man. I'm going to tell you now how many yellows there were, right? Giroud, Mason Mount, Sterling, Gabia, Krunic, Pogba, whatever his name is, Tommaso, Conor Gallagher, Tonali, Ballo-Touré, and of course the red card for Tomori. So, hella yellow cards. We obviously scored the other goal. A man advantage is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. It's a lovely Mason Mount glancing touch assist in the 34th minute, and Aubameyang and both Sterling are running in on it. Sterling leaves it for Abba. He rifles it in. He's just a mate. Aubameyang is one of those things that I've heard of, right? Now I've heard of it, right? Get the mics up for this one. I'm not sure this is correct, but I think he's one of those goal scorers. Now, I've not seen much of them over recent years. I thought they were dead, like the unicorns and the dragons. Certainly at Chelsea. But I tell you what, this brother, his finish is like he just knows where the goal is. He's calibrated. It's like magnetic north to him. Do you know what I mean? It's serious gear. 2-0. And at this point, I'm like, we're going to win this 4-0. We don't score any more goals. We bring on Conor Gallagher for Mason Mount at halftime, and that's because Mount's on a card. He looked pretty fired up, and he was playing magnificent. And what's the point in getting him sent off and then not being able to play another? Because we're not out of the woods here in the Champions League group. It's still quite tight, so we need to win another game or whatever. You don't want Mount to either get injured from being, fired up or get another card and not be able to play another Champions League game. Makes sense, wrap him up, especially when you can bring on the high-octane Conor Gallagher. Just good management from Potter. A couple more subs, of course. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and of course, talking point is, in the 62nd minute, we bring off Reece James because he made a good tackle against Theo Hernandez, and he was given as a foul against him. And he got the ball. He sort of comes around him slightly, but he doesn't go behind him, and he gets the ball away. But the way he lands on his knee, he jars his knee. Reece James, our superstar Galactico player, doing that. I mean, I was so worried. He played on. I was like, oh, it's going to be okay. But then goes down and comes off. But walks off. He walks off, which is good. But it's his knee, man. Ligaments, knee. That's if it's a hammy, it could be a dead leg. It could be a strain. I'm just worried. Whenever it's an intricate joint, whether it's your ankle, your Achilles, or your knee, I'm worried, man. He's built different, Reece James. So we're can we do a prayer circle? Everyone join hands without cutting your hands off in the green screen. We all joining hands. All right, close your eyes. We all pray that Reece James's knee is going to be okay tonight it will be touched by a deity of your choice, and it shall be cleansed. Inshallah, amen, and everything else. Right, cool. So the good thing about that is Cesar Azpilicueta came on, and he's been good lately. He certainly was really, really good in the Premier League last time out against Wolves, so he should be a good deputy for Reece James. Should it be out for a couple games max, hopefully. And then, of course, Havertz comes on for Aubameyang, and Cucurella comes on for the final minute for Ben Chilwell, I guess, just to be like, here's a Champions League game, Cucurella. I don't think in La Liga, he wouldn't have played Champions League, no. So that's nice for him. You know, nice little moment. Top line stats. Chelsea had 15 shots to their 70% possession in the end, but that's because we turned it into a professional performance against 10 men. Better passes. They had more dribbles, but I always just think that's going to be Rafael Leao. They stuck in a lot of tackles, and there was a lot of cards. Player performances, Kepa made 2 good saves. That was about it. Didn't need to do any more. He is our first team goalkeeper until, you know, he makes mistakes or gets injured. And fair play, more power to him, man. You know, let me know what you think about Kepa being first choice down in the comment section. Very pleased with that back three. I do think if Fofana comes back, Chalobah gets a rough time because he plays so well and he's yet to lose. There's a few moments though, and there's just something that Fofana offers as this sort of like more Galactico level defender in terms of where those high turnovers and the final third, and he's just a little bit more everywhere, yet really good. And that's no disrespect to Chalobah because he's been excellent. He will get plenty of opportunity, Trevor Chalobah, especially while we're playing back 3 formations. Kovacic was good. Not great, but he was good. James was really not his like inspirational self, but he was very, very good. And similarly for Chilwell, though I think James is probably a bit better. Jorginho, I think, was very good. Again, it's very good for Jorginho to look good against City-ass sides, especially when they're a man down and then like a goal down, because he's just really intelligent in how he moves the ball. But great penalty. Sterling's probably the most disappointing out of the front 3, but still just about keeping his place for me in terms of his application and tactical knowledge, etc. Aubameyang, great. I mean, we can wax lyrical ages about Aubameyang. We've got a striker that scores goals. But Mason Mount deserves a minute, man, because he's doing the tenacious pressing, tackling, proper chels, get stuck in. But he's adding this like technical brilliance and awareness and combinational play. He always had a little bit, but never enough. And now he's not like thirsting for goals. He's thirsting for creativity and assists. And maybe that's what we need, because he's good for goals. But if we've got that pressure on his shoulders to be Mason Mount, you got to keep scoring double digits of goals every season in the Prem, or get 10 or 15 Prem goals every season. That doesn't necessarily get the best out of him. Even if he takes down that stat padding a bit, if he does these little key passes, he's packing the key passes every game now, and he's got a few like lovely open play, very different open play assists, lofted balls, disguised passes, glancing touch today. Like, he's pulling out all of it, mate. So deserves a massive shout out. Subs, fine. Aspi obviously was pretty good. He's been quite good recently. Gallagher, a nuisance. Havertz didn't really do anything, except handball. He made a great run. Havertz made a great run. I do like Kai Havertz. I think he's a wonderfully talented footballer. We just need to unlock him. Loftus-Cheek, a bit like Sterling today, serviceable, but not as good as he had been. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm feeling good, top of the group. What else can you ask for? Feeling fine. Bellissimo. Bene. La donna bevo l'acqua. The woman drinks water. My Italian is limited, but that's what you're going to do. Thank you for joining me. Please do drop a like. Subscribe if you're new. If you're feeling good, hit that sweet, sweet bell. Hold on. Hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Oh, that's the one you deserve, ladies and gentlemen. See you soon. Peace.